Hi and welcome to Power Grid Inventory's first official tutorial video. Today I'm going to show you how to add a draggable window option to your grid user interfaces. We're not going to do it from scratch. Instead, we're going to use the Unity Samples UI just to get it up and running as quickly as possible. It's a free download you can get from the asset store. I've already gone ahead and installed it into the default project workspace that comes with PGI. So to get started, first we're going to go over to our inventory panel. That's going to be the window that we'll be able to drag, and we're going to add to it a UI panel and attach to it a drag panel component from the Unity Samples UI. And what this does is it assigns an area that we can grab a hold of, and then the parent object, in this case the inventory panel, gets dragged along with it. You can make it any size you want. For example, if you wanted sort of a traditional title bar at the top that works like in Windows, you could leave it up there. But for this example, I'm going to make it cover the entirety of the interface panel. And you'll notice right away when we run the scene, there is a bit of a problem with this. While we can drag the window around now, we can't get a hold of our objects behind it. And that's because the panel needs to be arranged correctly in the hierarchy. So, for example, if I move it up here, if I move it up here, now it's behind all the other UI elements, and we can move this around as we would normally expect to. And anywhere that doesn't have a control, we can drag the window. You see, I can't drag it there. There is a problem, however, with this system. It seems that Unity doesn't always want to keep this panel in the default position in the hierarchy. I think it might have something to do with the slot batching operation in the view, but I'm not entirely certain. It doesn't seem to affect it entirely. So there is a way around this, and it just requires modifying the code a little bit. So we're going to go into the drag panel component, and in the awake function we're going to use the invoke method for a method that we're going to write here in just a second, and I'll call it set child position. Give it just a slight delay, and the reason we're doing it this way is because we want to ensure that this method gets called after all other awake methods, including the awake method in the view that does some of the slot batching and rearranging of objects. So set child pos, and then inside of this we're just going to get a hold of the transform, the parent, just the transform, and then set the sibling index to 0, and that will make this the first object inside of our inventory panel hierarchy whenever this object starts up. So whenever we run it, you'll see panel will now get correctly moved to the top of the child hierarchy, and once again we have working example here. Again, the panel itself, if we don't want to have an image, easy enough to remove that. Now we have our default window as, okay, looks like I'm wrong there. It looks like we do need an image. In this case, we're just going to make it transparent. And once again, we have a draggable user interface that works properly with all our other elements that we would expect in Power Grid Inventory. So hopefully that helped you out. Just to answer a quick question, no, I don't plan to involve this in any of the default code base for Power Grid Inventory. The idea with PGI is that it should interface with other user interface systems as much as possible, and I kind of don't want to dictate how they go about doing their things. So I'm going to leave this up as an exercise to the users to figure out how to add draggable window components based on whatever user interface solution they have in their project. Alright, that's the end of the tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it.